Very good morning and happy Sabbath to everyone. For those of you first time worshiping here, welcome to the Jurong Church Worship. Those who are joining us online, we also welcome you. I'm Stephen. I think because I only preach here once in a while, you may not be very familiar with me. I'm from the Jurong Chinese Church. All right, so thank you for having me here today. These few weeks, in fact, it has been very, very warm. Very, very warm. You know, I work in a school as a vice principal. Even in the school, as we walk through the classroom, we can feel the heat emanating from the classroom, you know. Because in our school, we do not have air-conditioned classroom. It's really, really hot. But the strange thing about these few weeks' weather is that it is very, very hot, and then towards the evening, it will pour, and then there will be storm, you know. So, that reminds us of our life as well. There are many times in our life, things may appear to be running smoothly, and then the next thing you know it, there's a storm coming. Recently, my wife's brother-in-law happily worked for so many years, finally can retire. When he reached 65, retired, thought everything went smoothly. He retired, children all married, they are all working. Life seems to be good. You know, his houses are all paid up. He thought he can enjoy life. So, sunshine, but who knows, the storm came. One day he was having this ulcer in the tongue. You know, he's a tough man, usually he don't complain until the pain get too much. Usually he will just go to those Chinese doctors to get it diagnosed. The Chinese doctor will just give you some medicine to rub on it and so on. So he bore with the pain for a while until he couldn't stand it anymore. One day he went to the clinic. Immediately the clinic referred him to the hospital, Ng Teng Fong Hospital. Diagnosed with, don't know, stage 3 or stage 4 tongue cancer. Immediately, within 1 week, in Singapore, they're quite effective. Within 1 week, despite no appointment, whatever, they operated on him. And it was a very devastating for the whole family, in fact. Because they thought life is good, now you're retired, you have worked so hard, now is the time for you to enjoy. You have to go through all this, they have to take a piece of the tissue from the leg and then to patch on the tongue. Sounds very complicated, the tongue, and then they discovered because the cancer cell may have spread. So the surgery is more than just the tongue alone. They have to take up the teeth, some parts of the jawbone. It was very complicated. In fact, the family was told after the surgery, be prepared that your husband may be in the ICU for about 2 weeks. So Esther was also very devastated. She was quite close to her family. So a storm like this in our life. But eventually, this story has a good ending. Eventually, through prayers and so on, despite them not being Christian, through this, they got to know our mighty God, and then it went well. He responded to the treatment very well. He had just finished his course of radiation and so on. So now he's at home resting, able to go out on his own and so on. So we go through different stages in our life. Storms are very common in our life, all right? So today, as we look into this topic about the storms that we face, it could be illness, it could be problem at work, it could be family-related storm, it could be spiritual battles that we're battling. So these are the storms that we face. So the whole series of sermon that we are talking about, today we are focusing on the number 2, looking within. How do we navigate ourselves in the times of these storms in our life? Okay, so a few years ago, I came back home. My wife was shocked. Asked me, Stephen, what happened? Because I came back disheveled, and then I came back with a very bad bruise on the eye, blue-black bruise on the eye. My wife was shocked. She said, did you met with an accident? I said, no. Did somebody beat you up? Is it some angry parents come and punch you on the eye or what? It was quite bad, the bruise. I have to wear sunglasses for a while for the bruise to go away. I said, no. Self-inflicted. In the school, I was so busy, engrossed, thinking. I walked straight into a glass door. The library door. I think that day they removed all the posters because it's year-end time to do spring cleaning. They removed all the posters from the glass door, so I didn't know. Walked straight into the glass door. Pong! It was a very loud bang sound on the door. So I also got a shock. My staff also got a shock. All came over to me. Mr. Lau, are you okay? So I checked, no cut, nothing. It was okay. But at that time, I wasn't wearing this type of spec. I was wearing like Peter's spectacles, the plastic frame spectacle. It was very strong. Despite me knocking so hard onto the door, it was okay. Nothing, no crack, nothing. But initially, I thought it was okay. Didn't go and see a doctor. By the time I went home, and when I see the expression on my wife's face, then I knew it was more serious than that. Now, it's the bruise is like somebody punched you on the face. It was very bad. Now, this is an example of self-inflicted pain or injury. I have nobody to blame. I cannot blame who go and put the glass door here or who removed the poster. The door has been there all along. It was my own mistake when I banged into the door. So, in life, there are many storms that we face. Sometimes it may be because it is our own doing as well, self-inflicted kind of storm. Example, it may be caused by our unhealthy routines. You don't like to exercise, you don't like to eat healthy food, and all those things. That it may have resulted in something else, the storm that will come later. It could be the relationship. The style that you relate to people. Some storms come like relationship problems. Could it be because of the own way we respond to people? We like to scold people, we like to nag people, we are very critical of people, we criticize everybody, we complain. Could it be that this is the part of you that have caused you to have this storm in relationship with your colleague, with the family, with all kinds of people, right? So the Bible text that we have seen earlier. Sorry, is the clicker working? Okay. Can we go back one slide? Okay, thank you. As I mentioned, many of the storms that we face, many are self-inflicted. So basically, today's sermon, we are looking at how to overcome the challenges that we face in life, all these storms. Right? Last week, I think we heard about looking up. Today, we are talking about something about looking within. So the Bible text that we have read earlier, Mark chapter 13, therefore keep watch, because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back. Okay, this is another text also talking about keep watch. The earlier Bible text that we read was when the disciples of Jesus were curious, asking Jesus, when will be the time that you will return? So Jesus, in his usual way, tell them, the time nobody knows, but keep watch. The word watch itself appears quite a number of times in the Bible. Keep watch. So basically, the term keep watch is asking us to do some kind of self-reflection as well as guarding ourselves. Okay, what do you mean? Luke chapter 22, when the disciples were all gathered for the Passover, all right? So they were still arguing and with each other, who is going to be the greatest among all of them. Then Jesus had to tell them, okay, the greatest of you, will serve each other, and so on. It's about this servant leadership thing and so on. But finally, Jesus turned to Simon, Peter, and tell Simon, 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 Satan has asked to sift all of you as wheat. But I have prayed for you, Simon, that your faith may not fail, and when you have turned back, strengthen your brothers. So in other words, when Jesus was teaching the disciples, it's not a matter of how much you know. Even if you know what time Jesus will be coming back and so on, and so what? So Jesus tells them, watch and pray, watch and guard yourself. So it is more important is that when Jesus comes, whether or not you are prepared, your personal holiness is important. Even here when Jesus told Simon, right, say, Satan is trying us to sift all of you as wheat. What he's trying to say is that Satan wants to separate us many times, sifting us. Like all of you sitting here, some are at home, some are elsewhere. Satan wants to separate us from godly friends, from colleagues, from family members. Okay, so that's why I think today we no longer need to be persecuted like previously. The Romans have to torture them, put them in the lion's den, whatever, to prevent them from believing God. Today, just leave you alone. Give you an iPhone or give you something is enough to distract you from coming to the church. We give all kinds of excuses not to come to church. We separate ourselves easily, right? So these are things that looking within is talking about. Jesus is talking about be careful, because Satan will find all ways to separate us. Even within family, breakup is very common today, even among Adventist families and so on. So we really need to watch out about this sifting part so that we don't get sifted out. It's because when we are connected to the right people, we become stronger. We are talking about whether your husband and wife, your parent with the children, members with their pastors, elders and elders. When we are connected to the right person, we become stronger. You look at this second picture over here. I do not know this kind of power plug is from which country. Anyone knows? Australia? Some say Australia. I don't know. I can't remember. But usually when we travel, we will buy those international adapter, right? So whichever country you go to, the plug is different. It's okay. You can plug it in. So this guy on the surface appear like very creative. Never bring the adapter. Never mind. I brought my fingernail cutter. I took out 2 fingernail cutter. This person, not me. Take out 2 fingernail cutter. You see how it connect up, join up all the way to the plug. One to the left, one to the right. Does it work? Yes, it works. Can he use the whatever electrical appliance that he want to use? Yes, he can use, because electricity will flow through the nail cutter into whatever appliance he uses. So on the surface, many times the things that we do may appear, okay, you can solve the problem, not a problem. You want to worship at home, you worship at home, doesn't matter. You don't want to come to church, you don't come to church. You want to go and work on the Sabbath day, you go and work. You want to eat this unclean food, you go ahead and eat. On the surface, it may appear that, okay, I eat a little bit of unclean food, I won't die. On the surface, all seems okay. But can you imagine if we are doing all these things like the power plug like that? You may be okay this time around, may not be okay. One day you may forget, middle of the night, or somebody go and touch this thing when it is live. Somebody may get electrocuted. You can cause a lot of pain and harm to the people around you if you do this. That goes for our, that's what Satan wants to do. In our relationship, whatever, it may seem okay, but in the process, you may cause a lot of harm. I had a colleague many years ago, whom I would say lucky when he was able to borrow some money and buy a house, a terrace house somewhere in District 10. At that time, I remember he told me he bought the house for 120,000 Sing dollar. Now you can't even get a 2-room flat, 3-room flat. So he bought that house, District 10, very nice. He got one big compound. So we went to his house a few times. Many years later, when he was about to retire, he sold the house. Okay, so we asked, how much you sell the house? For $5 million. For $120K, he sold the house for $5 million. He's a rich man. Took out his CPF. So he's a happy rich man. Got all these family, children all grown up, went to university, all working. With the $5 million, he bought 2 condominiums. That time, condominium maybe still affordable, not very expensive. He bought 2 condominiums. And he got some extra money in his bank account. So one condominium, don't know, give to the son, one give to the, don't know who else, wife. Then he used the extra money to go and buy another house. But eventually for this person, this is the sunshine part. The storm came. The storm came because he liked to go and sing karaoke. So he liked to go karaoke lounge. Then he got to know this young girl in a karaoke lounge. So much so that he think that, okay, I can change something. So he go and link up with this karaoke girl, mistress. On the surface, it look like, okay, you are so rich now, nothing wrong. I got another wife. On the surface, to the people outside, it is okay. Nothing wrong. I didn't do any harm to my family, whatever. So much so that eventually, he divorced the wife. The family also disowned him, so to speak. He got bad relationship with his children, and he just abandoned everything for this girl. The last thing we heard is that a few years later, he lost all his money, he lost the girl, he lost his family, everything lost. So on the surface, certain action that we do, if we go against God's teaching, on the surface may appear okay for a while. In fact, it may appear enjoyable for a while. But in the long run, it will be like this power switch. In the process, you may electrocute yourself, you may hurt yourself, you may hurt the people around us. So we have to watch very carefully. When we say watch within, that's why Jesus have to remind so many times. There are more than 10 times the word watch being mentioned in the Bible. Watch and guard yourself. So how do we do that? So in today's sermon, we are going to take a look at what the Bible teaches. This is another example of the watch being used. Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. Guard yourself so that you don't get deceived. Sometimes we deceive ourselves. Also self-inflicted sometimes. So don't go and blame other people. Why go and put the glass door there and whatever. Sometimes it's we deceive ourselves. So Jesus said, watch out. So how do we look within and prevent ourselves from being deceived? Okay? Being self-reflective is very, very important. How often do you do self-reflection? Let me hear your own voice and so on. If you come to think about it, if you try to balance between how much time we spend on reading the Bible, hearing God's word, message, to how much time we spend on social media, for example. Social media especially sometimes can be very attractive. Very attractive, so much so that sometimes you watch a video on TikTok, you thought you only spend 5 minutes. When you look at the clock, oh my, it's already 3 hours. 3 hours has gone. Because they keep on pushing to you. One video you like to watch, they push another one. Then before you know it, all your time is gone. It's a new day again. So being reflective is important so that we know where we are heading. If you are not even aware that you are spending less and less time with God, you're spending less and less time with your family, your loved one. That is the problem. Even in the workplace, people are spending less and less on their work and so on. Okay, in Solomon chapter 1 verse 6, it talks about my own vineyard I had to neglect. Sometimes we, as working adults, we spend a lot of time outside the house. The people that love us the most, care for us, we neglect them. We talk very politely to our colleagues, to our boss, and so on, but to our spouse, to our children, and so on, it's a different story altogether. A few weeks ago, we were talking about now there are this problem about gender diaspora, and so on among young people. We were talking then. One of the colleagues was sharing. They have this boy who boy, secondary school. He come to school in the school uniform, but he likes to keep very long hair. There was one day he came with a lipstick in the bus. Somebody reported, hey, this boy, how come in the bus wear lipstick? Then wear high heel shoes. I think he got his mother's high heel shoes secondary. So not so normal, right? Not so normal if you boy, then you can put lipstick. So he came to the school. So it took a while for the school to understand why his behavior. Then, to cut the story short, eventually it was found out that this boy was very angry with the parent. So what do the parents do? The parents were actually pastors. Father, mother, all work in they are pastors' children. Very resentful of the parent. Later on, when they talk and find out more, they say, this parent, in the church say one thing, go back home is another thing. In the church, tell people, be kind, come home, scold me, he's so rude to me, and so on. So, this kind of thing that sometimes we need to be aware of. Self-reflection, very important when we say look within. You look at this particular photo at the side. This is a father pushing a baby cup. Then he was busy to keep the phone. Now he keep the phone when he realized, hey, where's the baby? Cannot find the baby. Missing. He really panicked. This person really panicked. You can search, and there are many cases like this where people are so distracted that the things are with them, they forgot. So it's a reminder for us that sometimes the people that we love, that love us the most, care for us the most, closest to us, are the people that we neglect the most. We try to work very hard at work, we work very hard at church, and yet those people closest to us, like this man, he loved the baby so much, yet he forgot the baby is with him. So sometimes we also forgot. You can remember early enough, it's good. Some people may not have that chance to realize before it's too late. Okay, so Mark chapter 13. Therefore, keep watch again, right? This one, keep watch, because you do not know, okay, the owner of the house will come back. So all these are reminded by Jesus to keep watch, meaning do self-reflection and guard yourself against. So what are the principles to help us overcome? So I will share these 5 principles. When we talk about look within, what does it mean? Okay, so the 5 principles, WATH. If all else you forget, you remember this acronym. W for words, A for attitude, temptations, character, and household. All right, so some of them are interlinked, so I will just cover them together. I will not go through one by one like this. Okay, now talk about words. Proverbs chapter 18:21, talk about the tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Has the power of life and death. Have you heard of anyone being scolded to death Or is your word, one word can cause people to die? Yes, we have heard, example like this. So even though not so common, I remember a few years ago, there's one man in China or somewhere, where the girlfriend wanted to break up with him, say, you go and die. I mean, use the word, you go and die. He really go and jump down from the flat. So this is an extreme case of words causing death. But it has a deeper implication. It's a reminder for us. Bible has been teaching, it's a reminder for us that we need to use more. I mean, if you want to overcome the storm in your life, the first thing to remember is that be careful of the word. Be aware of what word that you use very, very often. Okay? Use more of the healing words. Healing word means words that build up people, encourage people, bless people. If you go and reflect a little bit, the moment you open your mouth in the morning, what is it that you say? Is it you're scolding somebody, or is it you criticize somebody, or you're complaining about something? Okay, so we need to avoid. So use more of the healing words that build up, encourage, and blessing. Okay, and then it's not a matter of what you say, it's a matter of the right timing as well. When to say it is also just important. Because some of us feel that, because each of us have different characters. And some of us more assertive type. Okay, you do something, I must quickly tell you. If I don't tell you means I'm not doing the right thing. Must tell you. You notice that Jesus, when he was about to be crucified, when he was caught by all the Pharisees, all these people, they were trying to ask him, right? Do you have anything to answer for yourself? Jesus just kept quiet. Because he knows that in that kind of situation, no matter what he says, nobody is going to listen. So he just kept quiet. There are times when we just need to keep quiet. So the right timing of speaking the words is just as important. And then sometimes, of course, it's better to keep quiet. Matthew chapter 12, to highlight the importance of the word that we use. Don't use it carelessly. Some people say, I talk first, then I think. Some people, they speak too fast, then cause a lot of harm to the people around them. You can never think before you talk. The Bible in Matthew chapter 12 says, but I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word that they have spoken. So all the more we have to be very careful with the word that we use. In my school, in the olden days, everybody come to school must sign attendance. There is an attendance register in the general office. You come in, you go and sign. If you don't sign, by 8, 9 o'clock, somebody will call you. Say, hey, Mr. Sriga, you in school or not? Why you haven't signed your attendance? So the assumption is that you don't dare to come and sign because you are late for school. So you just go out straight to the staff room. Can you come and sign? But they have highlighted your name. Those empty spaces never signed, they highlight in yellow. So the principal will know who never signed in for that day. But after a while, with all this modern technology, they have used the card access entrance, thumbprint, whatever. So my school previously was using thumbprint. Everybody come to school, before you enter, you just use a thumbprint to open the door. At the same time, attendance was taken. Until the PDPA came in. Then they told us, oh, you cannot capture their thumbprint anymore. This one is personal data, cannot anyhow capture. So then how? They have to change the system. But to get a new system, you have to get quotation, and it take a while to rotate over. And we also do not want the staff to go back to the old way, come and sign attendance. It is like those trust issue. Like, is it you don't trust me, then you ask me to take my attendance and so on. So finally, we say, okay, no need to take attendance for the time being. Then we realize also got problem. When we have fire, Singapore take emergency exercises very seriously, right? A few times a year, we will do emergency exercise. During emergency exercise, if you don't take attendance, then there's a problem. You don't know whether this staff is in school or not in school. So sometimes we spend a lot of time trying to look for this person, then realize, hey, this person is on MC today or has gone off somewhere. So we decided, okay, no choice. Due to safety reason, we need to take attendance again. So how to take attendance? Staff will be unhappy. You ask them to sign in again. I say, never mind. Now the practice is that the staff will report if they are on MC. If you are sick, there is an app for you to just record down, I'm sick today, I will not come in. So there is an app. So we know who is sick. Just that it's not recorded anywhere. So finally I say, okay, then we get somebody to write in the general office, there is a notice board that you see, which I blur out. So I don't want you to see the name. So I say, okay, then somebody, every morning, you know already who is on MC, you go and write on the board. But who is going to write? Everybody is so busy. So I look around, who can write this one? Cannot be I, VP, go and write the absentee every morning on the board, right? I also have a lot of things to do. So finally I say, I saw this person in the office. Okay, you go and do it. You're the most, so to speak, last thing to do in the morning. He's our office cleaner. Her job is to clean the office, and then, when students come injury, she will give them a plaster, whatever, put them in a sick bay. I say, okay, you go and write. Then this person, happy to be asked by the VP to do the work? Of course not happy. My job is you ask me to clean office, now I have additional work, go and write in the board. She's not happy, but because school leader asked to do, okay, I go and do. So she will write on the board. Every day I go and see, this one, I have to go and correct for her, spelling mistake. Okay? Mr. Lau become Mr. Lai. They then have to go and correct for her. Sometimes I say, hey, this one already reported MC, why you never write down? Oh, sorry, Mr. Lau, I forgot. Can see that the heart is not there in doing the work. Sometimes when you get the wrong person to do the job, not done properly, it creates more problem. So I let it went on for a while. One day I was standing in front of the board, looking. Then this cleaner, he was mopping, then he saw me standing there. He pretended to go somewhere else. After a while, she came back. Mr. Lau still there looking at the board. So she panicked, then she came over. She said, Mr. Lau, did I do something wrong again today? Was there something missing in the writing? So I say, no. I'm standing here to appreciate your beautiful handwriting. Now, the thing about this person, this cleaner, she has very beautiful handwriting. Maybe from this older generation, they learn penmanship when in school. So when she writes, indeed it's very beautiful, all the handwriting, very neat and so on. So I thought, no, I'm just standing here to appreciate your handwriting. You wrote it right today? She said, yeah, I wrote. I said, very beautiful, your handwriting. In fact, your handwriting is more beautiful than our teacher's handwriting in the classroom. I said, I should ask my teacher come and take a look at your handwriting. Oh, then can see her face lit up a little bit. Are you sure or not? Then some of the head of department was walking past. I said, hey, come. Look at the handwriting. Then the HOD didn't know head or tail, just come and see. Why, Mr. Lau, why? I said, beautiful, right, handwriting? More beautiful than most of your handwriting, right? Oh, then they agree. Then this cleaner was very happy, that, hey, even the head of department recognized a beautiful handwriting. And then the next day onward, I realized fewer and fewer mistakes. No, everything she write now, spelling all correct, mistake, very few. No need to remind her, hey, go and check, there's one more absent. She will come and ask me, Mr. Lau, this person today here or not? Proactively, she will come and ask, Mr. Lau, the principal today in or not? Your principal no need to report sick, right? So she just want to write. There are certain days when there's no absentees at all. Usually exam period, all the teachers will be there. They won't take MC. On certain day, no. Sometimes I will see her standing there at the board, look quite sad. I say, you very sad today, right? No business today, huh? Okay, yeah, so she's disappointed. Until one day, another head of the department come and tell you, Mr. Lau, you know or not? This person, yesterday, take ruler, She took a ruler, go to the board, and then she write so that it's straight. See, she took pride in her work. Can you imagine if I were to use other ways, right? This one, how come never write properly? This one, how come miss out? Can you please write carefully or not? Otherwise, next time we will deduct your salary. If I were to scold her every day, do you think she will still took so much pride in her work? So sometimes the word that we use, that's why the Bible says, right, in the book of Proverbs, the word that we use are very important. If there are times that you think not a suitable time to say, just keep quiet, don't say first. Of course, there are times when this lady never do a good job. I also hold my tongue first, don't say first. Until the right moment, then I tell her, hey, today you missed out 2%. Can you go and check carefully and so on? Similarly, with the people around us, it's not a matter of say or don't say. It's a matter of how you say it, when you say it is important. Okay, the other thing that we need to say is this. We say a lot of things to other people, but have you ever reflected on what you say to yourself? So Bible also teaches us, remind us, you also be kind to yourself. You kind to other people like me, I kind to my office staff and so on. But what is it that you say to yourself? Like for me, that day when I bang into the door, right? If it were you, what is the first thing you're going to say? Are you going to say the S word? Or are you going to say, oh, you're unlucky? Or you going to get angry? Who go and put this door here? Who never? Or when? The thing that we say to yourself is an honest voice. So sometimes we also need to be kind to ourselves when things do happen. Sometimes you will say, I cannot. I'm so ugly, that's why nobody wants me. I'm so poor, that's why I cannot buy this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. So you be kind to yourself. How to be kind to yourself? There are many, many things that you can do, right? Today, I just highlight a few. What is self-talk? Self-talk is the internal dialogue you have with yourself. You are speaking, even now you're sitting there, you are having an internal dialogue with yourself, right? Talking to yourself. Okay? The inner voice reveals your belief, your thoughts, your questions, and ideas. So self-talk can be negative, positive, or a mix of both. If you are generally a positive person, your self-talk will be more positive. So certain words like, never mind, forgive them, they don't know, you will tend to deflect all these negative things. Whereas if you are a very negative person, the first thing is that you will blame other people. You forget about yourself. The first thing is you scold people, you blame other people. So this self-talk, be aware of it. So how to overcome negative self-talk? You monitor your own thought patterns. Like every time you talk to yourself, you just have to monitor, are you kind enough to yourself? Is the word positive or negative that you say to yourself? If most of the words are negative, you may want to be aware, consciously change your language to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would to your best friend. You wouldn't be so harsh to your best friend, right? So to yourself, you need to be kind to yourself too. Keep an eye on your stress level. If you're always very, very stressed, perhaps it is time to look for another job or another role. Because when you're stressed all the time, it's very hard for you to be gentle and kind to the people around you. So look on the bright side of things, challenge your thoughts. Like you say, certain things you don't know how to do. If you keep on telling yourself, I cannot, then forever you cannot. Even in the church, right, when we have meetings and so on, you will see all kinds of people. There are some who, the moment you bring something, this one cannot, I cannot. The word cannot come up very, very often. There was once we called in a consultant to the school, growth mindset consultant to the school. Why? Because the students are not doing well in the exam. We have done so much for them and yet doesn't show in the result. So this consultant come in, then ask the teacher, what is the biggest problem you face? One of the teachers say, primary 6 student, the teacher say, my biggest problem is that they don't want to do their homework. So what is the reason they don't want to do their homework? When you ask the student, they say, I don't know how to do. Right, Mrs. Rega? Most of the time, the student will say, I don't know how to do. Then they don't want to do. Then the teachers, being teachers, Singapore teachers are very kind and professional. They say, okay, don't never mind, I will teach you. Stay back after school, remedial. Okay, then the remedial teacher help them. Or worse still, the parent go and get tuition teacher for them. Tuition teacher is the one who do the homework for them. Then forever they will tell you, I don't know how to do. So the tuition teacher will do for them. Okay, so in the end, the consultant say, okay, next time you do this. Don't know, don't go and do for them. If the student tell you don't know, then you must ask the question again. So which part do you know how to do? It's not which part you don't know how to do. No, it's which part you know how to do. Okay, and then the teacher go and try that. Which part you know how to do? The usual answer the student will tell you is that everything also don't know. Everything don't know. Then the teacher say, you can read the question? Can read the question. 99% all can read question. Oh, can. Okay, yeah, you can do what you say you cannot do. You can read the question. Okay, you read the question, which part cannot understand. So slowly, as you delve into it, then the student realize, hey, actually it's not that I don't know, not that I cannot do. It's that when all the problem put together, I don't know. But in between, there's something that I can do. So the teacher will taught, when you teach the student, always go back to what they can do, not what they cannot do. Surely there's some part they can do. Similarly, for us in our life, when you face storms in your life, don't always tell yourself, I cannot. This one too big a problem for me. I cannot. I don't have, cannot. Then you must always ask yourself, which part I can do? Like in the relationship, or when you buy, change to a new house, whatever. I cannot, I don't have the money, whatever. Then you must ask yourself, so how? What can you do? That is the critical question. And it is beyond our church here to tell you what you can do, right? This is something that for you to reflect on. Different people will have different ways of doing things. Okay, so the next one we want to talk about, which I will go quite quickly from here. The next one is talking about attitude. Very important. When we want to navigate ourselves through the storms in life, attitude is very important. This quote says that it is not your circumstances that shape you. It is how you react to your circumstances. So it's a reminder for us to fill ourselves with faith, with hope, with love. Very, very important. I must have faith that God can help you. You must have faith that your children can do it. Even when your children seems to be failing, don't worry. We always tell parents, don't worry, this one is just primary school. You still have a long journey ahead of them. Have faith in your kids. Even they fail now doesn't mean they will forever fail. Right? Must have hope. Hope means today I may not have it. Doesn't mean tomorrow I don't have it. I will work hard for it. And then must have love. Don't neglect this one. And refuse to be negative. The moment you reflect, negative voice come to you, cannot, don't have, no good, complain, turn it to positive. Don't be angry, don't be mean, don't complain to the people around you. If you are the type who have been complaining, remind yourself, okay, then keep quiet, don't complain anymore. Find better way to do it. There was once I asked my wife, do you know why there are so many lizards in our house or not? You like lizard, don't like lizard, right? Lizard dropping all over, very, very dirty. There was once, out of the blue, when driving, I asked my wife, do you know why our house got so many lizards or not? So my wife also a bit perplexed. Why, out of no reason, ask me about lizard? So then she said, why? Is it because never throw rubbish properly, never clean the house properly? I said, no, these are not the thing. I said, because you nag too much. The lizard like to hear the sound of people nagging, though the lizard attracted to the house. So she think, are you sure or not? I said, no lah, just joking. But indeed, you nag too much, lizard will come to our house. I was just jokingly tell her lah. Until today, I don't know whether she believed that it's really true. I cannot nag so much, the lizard come or not. But anyway, we took the opportunity, right? So sometimes jokes, humor does help in relationship. So every time now, sometimes she forgets, she go into that mode. I think somehow, maybe this is a natural talent of ladies. I hope okay, so sometimes it's them out of their concern for the husband, the children, they tend to speak a lot. So sometimes speak a lot means they remind you so many times, then it sounds as though to the man is nagging. So sometimes when this happens, I say, hey, lizard, come to the house. So it's so much so that my two boys also learn. So sometimes they hear so much nagging, they say, hey, got a lot of lizard in our house. Then my wife will quiet down, she understood what we mean. So using humor, different ways of managing people does help in relationship. Okay? And then last year, the Malay Hari Raya, this song came out, Alamak Raya Lagi, right? How many of you have heard of this Malay song, Alamak? Okay, some of you have heard this song. I think it became very popular today, Alamak Raya Lagi. It's a Malay song. Why it's so popular? It's because last year, during the Hari Raya, I think last year or year before last, Singapore and Malaysia celebrated Hari Raya differently. Malaysia suddenly announced, hey, tomorrow going to be Hari Raya because they see the moon or something. I can't remember the exact situation, but I only know that it's very sudden. Caught many people by surprise. Many people were very angry. They complained about the government, they blame the government, they blame all kinds of things. Why the moon never come out tonight? Then, suddenly the Raya comes so quickly, we have no time to prepare. So a lot of people were angry. Then they all traveled together, traffic jam on the road. People were even more unhappy. But these three ladies took it in their stride, their attitude. It's okay, angry also no use. Hari Raya, they already announced what can you do, right? It doesn't mean angry, then they change the Hari Raya. No, you can't do anything. Can't do anything, just accept, just live with it. No? So they just live with it, do whatever they need to do. You need to buy clothes, just go and buy. The food never cooked properly, never mind. So in the song, they put down in the lyrics what happened. When they go and cook the rendang get burned in the wok. They cook the kueh also burned in the oven. Cannot buy new clothes. Go outside, look left, look right, everywhere, traffic jam. So in the song, they wrote it this way. It has become viral, very popular Malay song now. If you understand Malay, you can go and look up the lyrics, very interesting. Attitude make a lot of difference. Majority of people were angry, complain, still remember the bad incident. But to these three girls, hey, take it in your stride, laugh along with it and live with it. They even wrote a song, and now I think doing very well. So the attitude, very important. The next one is about temptations. Okay, temptation. Everyone will have temptation. Doesn't mean you come to church, once you become an elder, you become a pastor, then no more temptation. No. Temptation will stay with you all the way until Jesus comes again. Temptation. It is how you deal with temptation that is important. There are people who work as this snake venom extractor. So their job is to catch the snake, extract the venom, and then release the snake. The venom, of course, have many medicinal use, so they do that. So when people ask this snake catcher, so to speak, is this the most dangerous part of your job? You don't have to catch the snake. Some of us don't even dare to go near the snake. This one you have to touch the snake, catch, put it near the glass or whatever container, and then extract out the poison, the venom. So when they ask these people, they will tell you, no, this is not the difficult part, this is the easy part. Because most of the snake, when you try to catch them, without them knowing it, they won't bite you. So it's easy, just go there, just catch one, push the head onto the cup, and then you extract the poison. The difficult part comes when you want to let it go again. After extract, then what? After you extract, you have to put back the snake, right? This is where the snake is very angry, because you have been catching it, you have been pressing the head down on the cup. Of course, the snake is unhappy. So the moment you try to put it down, most of the snake will try to swing back and then bite you, either on your finger or somewhere, they will try to bite you. So you must make sure you wear proper gloves and so on. So according to the snake catcher, this is the difficult part. So similarly for temptation, must remember that a lot of sins, a lot of temptation It's very easy to pick up bad habits, and all those things. But it's very difficult to put down. When you try to put it down, it will come back and bite you. So remember, in the first place, might as well don't go and take it up, right? Because the Bible also tells us no need to give any excuses. Because the Bible tells us that God provides a way out for us. No trial has come to you but what is human? God is faithful and will not let you be tried beyond your strength. So with every temptation that comes, God also gives us a way out. So choose wisely. Remember the snake, easy to take up, not easy to let it go. Okay, then the last two, I think this is the last part. I will just lump them together because they are talking about the same thing. Character. Show yourself in all respect to be a model of good works in your teaching. Show integrity and dignity. Titus chapter 2, verse 7 talks about the importance of character in our spiritual development. Characters are very important. Okay? So there is this magic ratio, they call it 5:1. Until today, I always use this to guide many of the things that I'm doing, the magic ratio 5:1. Even though John Gottman wrote it in terms of relationship among people, the 5:1 ratio, right? Marriages are much more likely to succeed when the couple experience a 5:1 ratio of positive to negative interaction. Whereas when the ratio approaches 1:1, marriages are more likely to end in divorce. Okay, so they've interviewed many couples who did well, couple who didn't do well. They found out that indeed, those who are either divorced or on the verge of divorce, the ratio of their positive and negative interactions are almost 1:1 or less than that. That means the negative is more than the positive. So it's a reminder for us in our interaction with people. This one need not be just for husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, couple. It talks about our relationship in general when we're developing characters and so on. Like example, sometimes in the school when I'm busy, sometimes we are distracted by other things. You have to deal with parents, you have to deal with disciplinary cases, then you go late for your staff meeting. Then the staff will all be sitting in the meeting room, all waiting, arm folded, looking quite angry at you, because they cannot start if the school leaders are not there. So they're all sitting, then you go in, oh, sorry, I was distracted by the parent, I was doing, so maybe first time they forgive you. But if you 2-3 times, you keep on having that negative kind of interaction, you are disrespecting them, right? You ask all of them to come for meeting, then you never come, you come late. So after a while, then they will remember you. This Mr. Lau is a late comer. No need to go so early for his meeting. He never punctual one, this guy. Okay? So the impression form. So since I read this one, I always make it a conscious effort. If I do something negative, I must quickly put back 5 times positive. Meaning what? Meaning the next time if I have a meeting like that, I will make sure I go in at least 5 minutes early so that I sit down there and see the teacher coming in. Instead of them sitting there and see me walk in, I will go there 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Of course, the number 5 is just a guide. It basically is telling you that if you do something negative, put back be more positive to change the perception of people so that they don't remember you. This Mr. Lau is the one always late. They know that this Mr. Lau can be punctual most of the time. Change people's perception, 5:1. And then, finally, the ending, the most important is this. In all your interaction with people, when you look within, we must remember that relationships are not like mathematics. You count 1, you must have 1. I do this to you, you must give me back this one 1:1. Most of the time, this is not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that we work based on love, forgiveness, Matthew 6:12. And forgive us our debt. That's why the important when Jesus teach people to pray, right? Forgive us our debt as we also forgiven our debtors. People around us, forgive. Even though they don't apologize to you, forgive. So when we talk about attitude, I think yesterday, my daughter-in-law, Anthea, also yesterday shared with us. He said, today my father very unlucky. Arthur. He said, today my father very unlucky. I said, why? He said, his car got into accident. Accident. He said, a bicycle, and then I think see handphone, whatever, never see his car, then bang into his car. Then what happened? The lights got broken. The guy also got injured on the hand. So the first thing, normally when we think about all these things, we always think about, can claim insurance or not? Who's going to pay for the repair? No, these are usual things that drivers will think about. Oh, you knocked into my car. Whose fault? Is it my fault or your fault? Who's going to pay for this one? But Anthea was sharing with us that the father came down, looked at the thing, then the father first thing says, are you okay or not? The Arthur gave money to the cyclist. Instead of asking him to pay for the broken leg, he gave them money to go and see doctor. It is a choice, right? If he were you, what will you do? So therefore, looking within is a matter of choice. You can choose to use good words with people. You can choose to do kind deeds to the people around us. This is what the Bible is teaching us, right? Even in this case, Arthur, actually, he can go and report and then get claim insurance, whatever. But he chose to forgive. He chose to be kind to these people. Okay? I'm sure this guy, if he is not a Christian, one day he will find out, got this kind person. One day he will meet Arthur again. It will make it easier for his interaction, right? So in summary, we will face life storm, whether you like it or not. No matter how holy you are, you will face the life storm. Many of the life storm, we must remember, are self-inflicted. Self-inflicted, like me knocking into the ground. It's like nobody pushed me or whatever. I myself inflicted. So many of the life storm that we face are self-inflicted. We need to look within, reflect and guard ourselves. And then how to do it? Make godly choices. We have a choice when we choose things. And then remember the 5 principles in our life to guide us to make godly choices. All right? Thank you.